it's Jody. I have a new process video for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and we are in the 20 days of Christmas cut files, and it is day number 6, all about traditions. And I have decided to use the beautiful and brand new poinsettia cut file. Now this comes rather large. I think the 3 petals, the center, and the 2 leaves originally take up the whole 12 by 12 when you first get the cut file. So I decided, as a tradition, I like to make some Christmas cards. So I decided to shrink the size of the poinsettia and make 3 different ones. I did cut them out of Vicky Bouton's foundation paper. I just knew it would take the ink a little better, and I had to try the new lumberjack plaid color of Distress Oxide. So I got that and a few other reds. And then later you'll see I kind of went very untraditional, but it was so much fun. And I thought to just show you one, right? It's the same method to all 3 of the cards. But I went ahead and kept it all in just in case you wanted to see the difference in each one. So I used a little red, a little orange, and some green, some different greens. And I also know my first instinct was just to spray them, right? Spray is easier, let's be honest, but you don't have as much control. So I said, no, reel it in just a little bit, Jody. Do a little blending. This is not my favorite technique, but I do love the results, so I know I should try it a little more often. Now for me, blending ink on top of the whole cut file is easier for me than to take off the paper and do each one at a time. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I leave them all complete like this while I ink blend. And I use a little bit of pine needles, it looks like, with my first one. And I think I have a pretty heavy hand, so yeah, this one seems a little light compared to the second one. And then of course my desk shakes, so I apologize for that, but my camera is mounted onto my table, so I really can't do much of that. You know, I work with what I have. So now that I'm happy with the color, of course, to me, why I use the Distress Oxide, because of the actual oxide look that you get when you add water to the inks. I think it is magic. I think it is beautiful, and honestly, that's like my favorite part. So I'm dropping some water, and then I give it a second, and then I roll my paper towel, and it's like magic. Look at all that beautiful oxide. The color changes, it has some definition, gives it some texture, and it is so much fun. I give it a quick dry before I start to assemble. Now, I was thinking I should have, I could have roughed up the edges, or I could have ink blended a little more on the edges, because my final product does look a little flat, but honestly, I still think they're pretty neat, and I know anyone receiving one is not going to say, Jody, your card looks so flat. I don't know, maybe. So the cut file does come with a center, but I have decided to use up some sequins. So this one, I don't even know the name, but they're all from Spiegelmom Scraps. She is a wonderful creator. She was a really awesome boss too. Anyway, so I find some Lawn Fawn paper pad and cut those out, and I layer and I glue. And I just love really the simplicity of it. Yeah, did it take a little work? Sure, but was it totally worth it? I think so. Now, I didn't show coloring the next two, but I did want to show you how they turned out and how I put them together. Again, that oxide is it's just magic. And I believe this was the candy apple and the shabby shutters. And again, you could use just colored cardstock, right? Save a whole big step, a couple of steps actually. But for me, ink blending and distress oxides are definitely magic. So that's what I did. And I really think the candy apple is my favorite red. I know. I know. That could be fighting words with the lumberjack plaid lovers out there. But it's so bright and cheery. I don't know. They all have their place, right? Because of course we're going to buy them all. Anyway, I'm not sure what day the poinsettias came out. But it is a new cut file, and I cannot wait to try a whole layout with either one large one or several small ones. That is definitely on the list to do. Now this center, I thought I was going to try something cool and do some Nouveau drops, but again, my heavy hand got the best of me, and it just kind of all made a puddle. So I fixed that later, but yeah, don't do that. Just use the center, or use something for the center, right? So the last one, I went way out of the pinks and the reds. The reds and greens. I really wanted to try some of that Uncharted Mariner on these pretty poinsettias. So I first did some salvaged patina, and then the leaves are peeled paint, which is such an interesting color, right? And then yeah, the Uncharted Mariner is just around the edges, and I think I could have went with a little more, but I still love how it turned out. And then I'm using another Spiegelmom Scrap sequence, super pretty patina finish, and these look like I didn't get as much water on them, but I still love how it turned out. A couple of dots of adhesive for the sequence, and then I remedy the second one with some red sequence in the middle. I hope you are hopping along, because I know this is a lot of work to put together. So grateful for Virginia. This is super fun to do, the 20 days of cut files. I hope you join us when you're ready to document your holidays. Just to give it a little more texture, I added some white splatters to the blue card and some gold splatters to the red flowers. And I do use a simple Be Jolly sentiment stamp from Lawn Fawn and put them on a card base and call them done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you give this cut file a try, please come and join us in the Facebook group. And don't forget that cut files are on sale right now. Take care. I hope you're well. Bye-bye now.